I feel like James Brown. I'm back. I'm back. I told you I was going to do part 4 and part 5 today. If you are just tuning in for part 5, you need to watch part 4 for the story on why I have on these sunglasses. But we are talking about, this is the last part of the 5-part series that I've been focusing on this week, talking about navigating through a slump in your business. You definitely want to make sure you watch parts 1 through 4. And this is the last part of this particular series, okay? So we talked about in part 1, allowing yourself to break down so that you can experience the breakthrough. In part 2, we talked about how the slump happened, right? How did you end up in a slump in your business so that you can understand what happened so you can prevent it from happening again. Then in part 3, we talked about navigating through contraction and fear, because when we're not making sales, when we're not signing new clients, we start to shrink back, and we can find ourselves back in a lack scarcity mentality. In our thinking, it can really make us feel like we're trapped between a rock and a hard place. Like we know we need to invest in ourselves and take these steps, but we feel like we don't have any options, we don't have any money, etc. And then in part 4, I talked about stepping into your courage and your leadership. So how you are stepping out of that fear and contraction and feeling properly resourced again, and like you have options, and being able to make powerful decisions about making additional investments into yourself and going all in on you and your business. Okay. So today on part 5, we're going to be talking about the breakthrough and the upswing. And so for those of you who perhaps this is your first time tuning in, I'm Jamila McMallow. I'm a mindset coach for type A women executives and entrepreneurs. I help my clients to create accelerated results in their life, in their relationships, and in their businesses and careers. Okay, so let's get into it. Now, in the last one, part 4 talked about, stepping into your courage and leadership. So now you're taking actions outside of your comfort zone. You found yourself feeling resourced enough to hire a coach. So you've started to see traction again in your business. You're signing new clients. And really what has happened now is you have elevated to a new level of being. You have stepped into a new identity. See, you just traversed adversity. You just went through something where you had that feeling where you felt like, oh my goodness, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know why this is happening. And sometimes we can even slip into a little bit of a victim mindset there. But nonetheless, you didn't give up. You didn't wallow in it. You didn't marinate in it. You didn't act like, oh, life is happening to me. I'm such a... No, you took radical self-responsibility. And you said, the only person that's going to be able to bring me out of this is me, but I'm going to need help. But I have to make the decision to seek that help. And I have to make the powerful decision to invest in myself to get that help. So that's you stepping into your power and courage. And now that you have it, you don't want to forget the lessons that you have learned through this process, because this is something that you're going to be able to help your clients to appreciate. It doesn't matter what aspect of coaching you work with people on. People come to you because they've been through adversity or are currently going through some type of adversity, and they're coming to you because you have the knowledge and the expertise to help them figure out how to get out of it. If we could solve all of our own problems on our own, just in our own heads, we would not need the help of other people. But the truth is, we all have been endowed with individual gifts, individual talents, things that we are innately and uniquely good at, things that come easy to us, but not to other people. And so when we have a need of something, we go to the person who possesses that ability, and we ask them to help us, because we don't have that capacity or that ability. And so my point is that you, having navigated through this slump in your business, or if you're going through that right now, as you're watching these videos and you're thinking about your plan of action, what you're going to do to come out of it, know that on the other side awaits another leg on the journey that you're going to be able to guide your clients through, that you're going to be able to take them through, because of all the transformations and identity shifts you've made along the way. You're not going to be the same person you were. You're not going to be the same coach, the same mentor, the same business owner. Whoever you were before you hit that slump is gone. The person you are on the other side of this slump is stronger, wiser, more resilient, more powerful, more courageous, more of a leader. Okay, because you didn't give up. You didn't make excuses. You didn't whine. You didn't complain. You might, you allowed yourself to feel your feelings, right? And we are going to have that moment where we are going to feel sorry for ourselves. But you didn't stay there. You didn't stay stuck. You took action and you did something about it. And that's what I did. Because, type A women, we're go-getters, we're driven, whatever. And we don't do just sitting around and waiting for something to happen. We go out and we want to create results. That's what we do. That's what we're good at. That's what we're wired to do. And it's not hustle. It's not grind. That's what people who don't know how we roll say. They say that stuff because maybe they're trying to roll like us, but they're not one of us. If you're not type A, don't try to be type A because you'll get burnt out. You get burnt out real quick trying to run at the speed that we run at because we do everything this way. And the only time running at this speed becomes a problem is when we're operating outside of integrity, meaning we're trying to do something that is out of alignment with who we really are. We're trying to be someone we're not. We're putting on a fake identity and trying to perpetuate it and let everybody believe that's who we are. That's the only time we as type A women get burnt out. Or there's one exception, raising kids. And that's because there's no brakes. So that's literally like just if you never turned it off. So if you're raising kids, yes, that is the one exception to the burnout rule. But if you are a type A woman, you know what I'm talking about. We don't get burnt out because we're, creating results. We enjoy it. We love it. It's when we're not seeing results that we start to get frustrated, that we start to get angry, that we start to get, even sad and such. And if you're watching me live, just drop a hello in the chat so I can give you a shout out. And if you're watching this later on the replay, please drop a hashtag replay so that, I can know that you were here. But the point is that now that you're moving out of the slump, you've hired your coach, you're doing what they told you to do. Don't forget the lessons that you've learned from this process. Keep doing the things that are working. Don't start saying, okay, I've signed these one-on-one clients. So now squirrel, let me plan this retreat. Wait, no, let me do this thing over here. Get the traction back, get it sustained, get it going. And then, and please, check in with the expertise and experience of your coach that you've hired to help you, guide you through that. Hey, you must be my Facebook group because it says Facebook user. It doesn't tell me your name, but thank you so much for being here. So, you don't want to forget how you got into the slump. And you want to have that awareness of what got you into the slump so that you don't make those mistakes again. And you also want to make sure that you are constantly checking that internal set point, your internal thermostat when it comes to success and money, to make sure that you're continually recalibrating as you're moving up, as you are raising your prices, as you are seeking greater investments into yourself and into your business, into coaching, whatever. You got to continue to raise that internal set point, okay? So that you can stay on track. And again, you're going to need assistance with moving that. But as long as you are fully supported, you are going to be able to do whatever you desire. You're going to be able to reach your goals. Okay, it's when we get out on our own, we be trying to figure it out and we're stuck in our heads and we're getting in our own way. That's when we start to backslide. It's like into the slump we go. Okay. So what I want to say is this. One of the things that you have now learned is what happens when you don't have any support. When you go through a slump, chances are you weren't working with a coach or you weren't working with the right coach or the right person. Maybe you signed it with someone for whatever reason. You didn't do your research. You didn't binge their content. See, here's the beautiful thing about social media. It allows you the opportunity to really get to understand a person's message, their philosophies, their personalities, their way of being. If you binge a person's social media, what they've written, what they have shared on video, especially video, because you're seeing their person face, you're hearing their voice, you're going to get a pretty strong idea of who they are. And if you have sent them a direct message, a DM, and had maybe a brief conversation with them, that's going to give you a feel for who they are. So you're going to know whether or not you're making a wise decision about working with this particular person. You're going to know if they could really help you solve your problem if you're trusting your gut and checking in with your instincts. Now, if you ignore your red flags and you're, for whatever reason, moving forward, that's a different conversation for a different video. But I only say that to say that if you did not have a coach at all or did not have the proper coaching support, then that is one of the big reasons that got you into the slump because you weren't properly supported. But what can happen is you want to stay coached up. You don't want to fall into the the thinking or the rhetoric of the whiners and complainers who ain't making no money. They're talking about what needs to, oh, this person in our industry and that person in the industry. Who cares? Who cares? That's not, has nothing to do with you. If you are a woman of integrity, if you know you're brilliant at what you do, if you know you're a phenomenal coach, then what else is there for you to be talking about? Talk about what you do. Speak to your people. But if you're out here whining and complaining in the streets about what, this needs to happen and that needs to happen, and I'm going to offer a guarantee and all this nonsense, listen, then that's what you're going to attract. Okay? So stay away from that type of thinking, that type of rhetoric. That's what the snooze feature is for on Facebook. That's what the unfollow feature is on Instagram, or mute, whatever. You can be connected to people and not have to listen to them talk that kind of language, because now that you come out of the slump, it is very important that you protect your thinking. It is very important that you protect your thinking, because the wavelength, the vibe, whatever that you're on, you don't want to lose that traction. You don't want to lose it. So you need to start surrounding yourself with people who have a mindset that is where you're at or a little beyond, so that you're constantly being pulled into the right direction. You do not want to be surrounded by people who are in lack and contraction and complaining and whining and no. You don't want to do that, okay? Because remember, this part 5, we're talking about the breakthrough and the upswing. So you want that to continue, okay? So like I said, don't fall for the okie doke of the complainers and the whiners, because they ain't making no money and they're not paying your bills. Stop listening to people that aren't paying your bills, okay? When the truth is, they're just making excuses instead of admitting that they are simply unwilling to do what it takes to experience success. Being unwilling to do what it takes to experience success, because to accomplish and achieve success in any way requires effort. No, it doesn't mean it has to be, this tremendous, heart-wrenching, horrible experience. Absolutely not. If you enjoy growing and developing and becoming a better version of yourself, then you don't look at any of this as something negative. No, we don't want to get up at 5 a.m. and work out. No, we're not always in the mood when we push play or if we go to the gym. But yes, we love how we feel when we're done, and we love the results that we're seeing in the mirror and in our clothes. You understand what I'm saying? So when you're a person who is results driven, who's action oriented, you are constantly, then you're going to be willing to do what it takes. So don't listen to people who are unwilling to do what it takes, who want the easy way out. Okay? And I'm not saying that making money has to be hard. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that you are your biggest obstacle, and pushing ourselves. Oh, let me rephrase that. Making no, I'm going to say it. Pushing or making ourselves do what we need to do in order to accomplish our goals is what separates the winners from the ones who are just whining and complaining. You are going to have to get out of your comfort zone. You're going to have to stay in taking massive action. You're going to have to continue to do things that scare you, that are like, to continue to step into new identities, to continue to grow and transform. That's what this is. There is a final day where we're like, oh, I'm all good. I've got it all. I'm accomplished it. No. It's a journey, and we're all on it. And as long as you are willing to do what it takes and continuing to move forward and to take the actions and to listen to your coach and to immediately implement what you're learning, then you're going to continue to see yourself create bigger and better results. Okay. Now, all of this is one of the reasons why I truly enjoy working with type A women like me, because that's what we do. We create results, and I help my clients to create accelerated results in their lives, in their relationships, and in their businesses, and in their careers. So just to recap part 5 here, we're talking about the breakthrough and the upswing. Now that you're coming out of it, is you want to remember the lessons that you've learned having gone through this slump. You want to celebrate your wins. Celebrate the fact that you've signed these new clients. Go decide on one thing that you're going to buy yourself, or one place you're going to go for dinner, to really anchor in this new feeling of success, of having come out of it, right? You're going to continue to stay coached up and listen to your coach. Take massive action and implement immediately. And remember that the momentum that you have now created, this new momentum going forward, is going to come to a screeching halt again if you don't continue to raise that internal set point around money and success. Okay. And finally, you have to be willing to do whatever it takes. And I do not mean sacrificing the things that are truly important. I just simply mean you have to be willing to become the version of yourself that has all of the things that you desire. And as long as you're willing to become her, as long as you're willing to do the things that she's doing, then you're going to experience success. And you're not going to find yourself going into these ups and downs constantly in your business again. Okay? So thank you so much for joining me. If you were watching live, if you are watching the replay, please drop a hashtag replay in the comments and let me know that you were here. If again, anything I said in this video landed or resonated with you, please, you can book a call with me and I'm happy to talk with you about what working with me would look like. You know, if you're a type A woman and you love creating accelerated results in your life, you know, watch my client testimonials. There's one I recently posted for my client, Nicole. She's amazing. She got phenomenal results in less than 3 months. And you know, and that could be you. It really could be you, because I'm all about helping my clients. You know, it's like if you're dealing with problems, you know, or whatever, because we all have our challenges. Why would you want to sit in that any longer than you have to, right? Like, why take the slow scenic route when you can just be done with it? That's my attitude anyway. And that's how I roll. That's how I roll with my clients. And so if that sounds good to you, by all means, book a call. And I look forward to speaking with you one-on-one. If you have a question, you can drop it in the comments below, or you can send me a DM on Facebook or Instagram. And I want to thank you again for watching and joining me here. And I will see you next time. Bye.